For centuries, the dominant story of the Great Pyramid's construction was one of immense human suffering, an image of countless slaves toiling under a pharaoh's whip. This narrative, first recorded by the Greek historian Herodotus and later dramatized in film, has proven to be a persistent myth. Decades of modern archaeology have unearthed a far different story, one written not in speculative histories, but in the bones, homes, and graves of the builders themselves. The evidence reveals a highly organized national project, staffed by skilled, respected Egyptian citizens. This revised understanding began not with a grand discovery, but with a horse's stumble in 1990, which revealed a buried mud brick wall. This led to the excavation of a vast site just south of the Giza Plateau, now known as Height El Ghurab, the lost city of the pyramid builders. Led by archaeologists like Mark Leaner and Zahi Hawass, the work uncovered a meticulously planned urban center. This was no temporary camp, but a thriving settlement with streets, bakeries, breweries, and large gallery-style barracks capable of housing thousands of workers. It was the logistical heart of the entire construction project, a city built to support the building of the pyramids.
The most compelling evidence, however, comes from the cemeteries found nearby. The very location of these graves is significant. As Hawass has repeatedly noted, being buried in the shadow of the royal pyramids was a great honor that would never have been granted to slaves. The tombs themselves show a clear social structure. The general laborers were laid to rest in simple, dome-shaped mud brick graves, provided with basics like bread and beer for their journey into the afterlife. Situated on higher ground were the more elaborate stone tombs, or mastabas, belonging to the project's skilled artisans and administrators. Inscriptions on these tombs give us their actual job titles, bringing them to life as individuals. The overseer of the side of the pyramid, the director of draftsmen, the inspector of craftsmen. These are the titles of a professional workforce.
Analysis of the skeletal remains provides a detailed, personal look at their lives. The bones show the immense physical toll of the work. Arthritis was common, and vertebrae were often compressed from carrying heavy loads. But they also reveal something remarkable: a high standard of medical care. Broken arms and legs were expertly set and had healed cleanly. There is even evidence of complex procedures, including successful amputations and brain surgery on a worker who survived for at least 2 years after the operation. These were not disposable laborers. They were valuable assets to the state, and their well-being was a priority.
The logistics of feeding this workforce were staggering. Excavations of the city's refuse pits have uncovered massive quantities of animal bones. It is estimated that over 4,000 pounds of meat from cattle, sheep, and goats were processed daily to provide a protein-rich diet for the thousands of workers. This was supplemented with fish from the Nile and enormous quantities of bread, baked in large, state-run bakeries found on site. The workers were also paid in beer, a nutritious staple of the ancient Egyptian diet. This was a well-fed, well-supported population. They were Egyptian citizens, drawn from villages in the north and south. Many were likely farmers who served on a rotating basis during the months when the Nile's floodwaters made farming impossible. They worked alongside a permanent core of skilled craftsmen. Graffiti left by the work crews, hidden deep inside the pyramid, reinforces the sense of professional pride. They identified their teams with names like the Friends of Khufu Gang, a clear sign of camaraderie, not subjugation.
While the identity of the builders has become clearer, the structure they erected still holds profound secrets. Answering the question of who built the pyramids has led back to the question of how, and what other secrets might be sealed inside the stone. To probe these mysteries without moving a single block, an international scientific mission called Scan Pyramids has turned to particle physics. The technique is known as muon tomography. Muons are subatomic particles created when cosmic rays from space collide with the Earth's upper atmosphere. They shower down on the planet constantly, passing through most matter.
By placing highly sensitive detectors inside and around the pyramid, scientists can track the paths of these particles. Dense material like solid limestone absorbs or deflects more muons than empty space does. Over time, by analyzing the trajectories of millions of muons, a three-dimensional density map of the pyramid's interior can be created, revealing any significant voids like chambers or corridors.
This revolutionary method has yielded incredible results. In 2017, the team announced the discovery of a massive, previously unknown space, now called the Scan Pyramid's Big Void. It is located directly above the magnificent Grand Gallery and is estimated to be at least 30 meters, or nearly 100 feet, in length. The prevailing theory is that this void serves a crucial engineering purpose. The Grand Gallery, with its complex corbelled ceiling, is a structural weak point. The void above it may have been intentionally designed as a stress-relieving chamber to redistribute the immense weight of the stone above, protecting the gallery from collapse. More recently, the same project confirmed the existence of another hidden corridor, this one on the pyramid's northern face, just behind the main entrance. This passage is about 9 meters long and 2 meters wide. A tiny endoscopic camera was fed through a joint in the stones to provide the first images from inside this sealed space in 4,500 years. Its purpose is also thought to be structural, relieving pressure on the entrance passageway below.
However, these discoveries have also reignited speculation about undiscovered chambers. Some Egyptologists, including Zahi Hawass, have proposed that these corridors might not be purely structural. They could be part of a more complex system of passages, perhaps even leading to the true, still hidden burial chamber of Pharaoh Khufu. The idea that the pharaoh's final resting place might yet be found is a tantalizing possibility that continues to drive research. The true function of these voids remains a subject of intense study and debate. The discoveries of the builder's city and the pyramid's hidden corridors are transforming our view of this ancient monument. We are now replacing the myth of slaves with the reality of a proud and organized national workforce. At the same time, we are learning that the architectural genius of these ancient engineers was even more sophisticated than previously understood. We now have a clearer picture of both the people who built the Great Pyramid and the secrets of the structure itself. The monument is slowly yielding its secrets, proving that even after 4.5 millennia, the age of discovery at Giza is far from over.